Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So today is one of those readings where I quite literally have no idea what we're going to be talking about in the reading, which sometimes I find that those actually end up being the best channeled messages, because in these readings, especially, we are really opening things up and allowing you to contribute your energy in a more powerful way that I can then pick up and channel with here. So essentially, we are all co-creators on this channel. And if you would like to be more strongly tied in with this collective and therefore more active in that co-creative process, then I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. So already, I feel like some of you listening must have liked or subscribed from this video, because I felt this influx of energy. And this message has been coming up right away for a group listening. Now, of course, I always also preface these readings by saying that we do channel into many different people, situations, and dynamics throughout these reading videos. So always only take what resonates with you in a personal way. Okay, but the message coming through most strongly right away is about not betraying or abandoning yourself as you connect with others, and how this is a huge theme coming up in your life right now. How to really maintain your center of gravity within yourself as you are being pushed out and connecting more with other people in the physical world. And this is so relevant to our collective at this time, because you quite literally are being pushed into a phase of your life where you are going to be connecting more with other people physically and externally. And this makes it all the more important for you to really be able to maintain that center. As we are talking about here, we are calling it here your center of gravity. But it's so essential to maintain that connection to your internal self when you are connecting with others. Now, these self-betrayals and self-abandonments can actually happen in ways that look really small. Like when we go along with something that feels really contradictory to us internally, or when we try to dilute ourselves in some way to make someone else more comfortable or to please them in some sense. And these are all forms of self-abandonment, no matter how small, that in the process disconnect us from our core center of gravity, which is actually where all of our power lies. And a really powerful affirmation coming up here as well is, I am connecting with those who can connect consistently with me on my highest timeline. What this affirmation says is that our first and really our only priority is to show up on our highest timeline, to maintain that high vibrational frequency, to be true to ourselves at the most core internal level, and to see who can connect with us from that timeline and from that space energetically in a consistent manner. And of course, then the kind of follow-up to that is having the strength within ourselves, the knowingness of who we are, and the determination not to let go of that, that allows us to hold that center regardless of how people may be reacting to us. Because something that we often find is people can initially feel extremely drawn to our light, extremely pulled into us. They can sense that we are vibrating at this really high vibrational level on this higher timeline, and they can find that really inspiring, even very admiring. The word admiration is coming out. Like, you are at this point attracting a lot of that kind of intrigue, a lot of that admiration from others. Now, a lot of it may feel as though it's admiration at a distance, like people are aware of you, observing you, admiring you, but feeling a little bit intimidated by you. And even in some cases, when they are pulled in by that admiration, they may actually, I'm hearing, step back into the role of admiring from afar. And it's not a rejection. It's them creating a distance to process what they've picked up from your energetic field through their proximity to you. But it's not that their feelings about you have changed. It's that they've shifted roles, in many cases temporarily, and they may come closer again in the future. But temporarily, they've shifted roles from being up close to admiring from afar. This is fascinating. I've never channeled this exact kind of information before, so thank you to all of you who are contributing your energy here and manifesting through these messages. This feels like such a unique way to explain this dynamic. And do let me know in the comments if this is something that you've experienced in your interpersonal relationships, where someone is initially really drawn in, really intrigued, really admiring, and then all of the sudden, it's like they pull back, but there's no animosity. There's not even really a break between you. It's just suddenly almost like that person fades a bit from your reality or stops being as involved in your daily routine. And although the ego might want to interpret that as a rejection, again, the guides are coming in here to say what's really happening is they may be feeling overwhelmed by the intensity of the energy that they're receiving from you. So they're stepping back to process that energy, but they're still very much not only aware of you, but actually observing you in admiration, just at a further distance in some sense. So I really hope that this has been helpful for someone so far. Powerful start to the reading. And I haven't pulled a card yet, but I'm going to start by shuffling the energy. Well, I said the energy oracle cards, but I was holding the traditional tarot. So I don't believe in coincidences or accidents. I must be meant to pull a card from the energy oracle, even though it wasn't the deck I was consciously going for. And you know what? Maybe that is a message for someone. Wow. Okay. So maybe something that's come up in your reality feels really right to you, feels like something you want to explore or pursue, or feels so aligned with you, but it wasn't exactly what you were consciously reaching for. Just like with the deck, I wasn't reaching for or even holding that deck, but then it suddenly like popped into my reality and it was something that I wanted to explore. It's like this could be symbolic for what you're going through in some area of your life. Now, you can take this, apply to love, romance, friendship, business, work, your personal life, however this is relating to you, but pay attention to things that you might be feeling guided to pursue or explore or connect with that might seem to pop into your reality out of the blue, that might not logically make sense to you or even seem to be logically what you were reaching for. I'm getting the word stepping stones, like whatever this thing is that popped into your reality that you weren't expecting could actually be a powerful stepping stone towards the fulfillment of certain dreams, goals, or desires that you have. I also just keep getting this sense of someone feeling as though they're getting closer and closer to some kind of ideal, but they keep aligning with things that seem to have some aspects that they really desire, and then some aspects that are deal breakers or that are things that are contradictory to what they desire. Again, I know we're talking very generally here, and this could be in any area of your life, but if you've noticed this pattern where you are being really drawn into certain new opportunities, people, things that seem to have a lot of what you want, even like you're attracting more and more of what you want, but then they also seem to have these aspects that just don't quite fit. It's almost like, and it won't be romantic for many people listening. It could be for some of you, but just to use this as an example, it's almost as though in dating, it's like you have this concept of an ideal person that you'd like to meet. And then suddenly the universe keeps sending you different dating opportunities that seem to perfectly embody different aspects of your ideal. But then within each of those people are these other aspects that really don't connect or resonate with you, or might even be deal breakers for you. And I'm just hearing this sign of, instead of becoming discouraged when you notice the aspects that aren't exactly aligned for you, be encouraged knowing that these are actually signs from the universe that you are on track to fully manifesting in your ideal. But I'm also getting the message of not settling. So it's like continuing to allow yourself to enjoy the unfolding of this, to continue listening to your intuition, connecting with what feels good, whether it's a person, an opportunity, an idea, a pathway, to continue moving forward in that way. But as you notice these kind of mixed bag scenarios where this thing or this opportunity or this person contains some of your absolute ideal that you've just never even manifested in before, and then some aspects that are questionable or maybe even deal breakers for you, to allow yourself to keep using these situations as positive forward movement stepping stones by focusing on the fact that this must be a confirmation that you're on the right track, because you are beginning to manifest in so many different forms, more and more of the essence of that ideal. But on the other hand, this is not saying to settle. So yes, I'm saying see this as confirmation, enjoy the unfolding of it, but the message is also coming through of not compromising on your ideal. Because you have to imagine that your ideal, whatever it is, whether it's a person, a job, a place, people are going to try to tell you that your ideal is unrealistic, or that it's a pipe dream, or it can't happen. People who lack vision, people who are still really plugged into the matrix, which is just our societally accepted series of limiting belief systems, programs, and patterns. So people are going to attempt, I just felt this like wave of energy. Maybe someone's really connecting with that, but people are going to attempt to convince you to settle. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I'm picking up that whether this is related to your life, generally your dreams, your work, maybe it applies to many different areas of your life. But the message is here, do not allow your internal self or external influences to convince you to settle when it comes to your ideal. Because when you can imagine something, there is a timeline where it already exists. It's already there for you. If you can imagine it and it feels good for you, it feels aligned for you in that visualization, in that imagination, it exists for you. And the other thing here about settling that's coming out, this has been a major theme. Maybe this is something that someone's been having conversations about or dwelling upon, the concept of settling, and how most people in society are settling in their lives. Meaning they are compromising internally on what they really desire. Now, of course, there's such a difference between settling on your dreams and using opportunities as stepping stones. So it's like the difference between someone who has a vision of like being a CEO of a company, but they use starting at the bottom of that company as a stepping stone, and they always hold that vision. They're not settling by using that position as a stepping stone. They are holding the vision and they're continuing to take those steps forward, seeing the confirmation in where they are, seeing that every role that they land, every way that they progress in that company is one step towards becoming that CEO. Now, of course, this is just a completely random example, but you can use this in any area of your life. When I talk about settling, it's more of a mental thing. It's when you decide that dream, that goal, that vision isn't possible. So mentally, I'm capping myself out. I'm creating a glass ceiling for myself internally because I've decided that I'm settling where I am because I can't reach for more. And that is what I just so strongly feel you being discouraged against in the spiritual realm. You're being encouraged to never settle, to hold that vision for what you want, regardless of what you have to do to get started, because that vision is ultimately going to manifest. And I'm also getting messages around letting go of the timing, making peace with the timing of your life. So these visions, these goals, these dreams, they're going to happen as long as you don't mentally settle, meaning as long as you don't decide that it's impossible internally and attempt to cut yourself off from even allowing yourself to dream it. If you continue dreaming it and visualizing it and holding the space for it, eventually the physical manifestations are going to come in to fill that space. But again, I'm picking up another, and we've been touching on this, but another message here is whenever you see a place, an opportunity, or a person, whatever, on this trail towards your ultimate ideal, whenever you see it for its negative aspects and fixate on the negatives, in terms of frequency and vibration, this can actually cause you to backslide or to go back. Whereas when you appreciate every person, thing, and opportunity that comes into your life for its positive aspects, telling yourself, yes, this might not be exactly my ideal, but it contains so much of what I've been dreaming of, what I'm excited about. That actually is like, I'm seeing like when you grease the wheels of something, it's like the grease that I'm not really a mechanical kind of person, but it gets things moving in essence. It keeps things loose and in motion when it comes to moving towards that ideal, even if that thing isn't what you want. How people get their gears rusty, in a sense, is when they allow that rust to form by kind of sitting stagnant in the dwelling upon the negative aspects of wherever they are, instead of seeing it as a stepping stone, seeing it as a confirmation sign from the universe that they're moving towards everything that they desire. But I just keep hearing, trust your timing. Your timing is your timing. And we could also say, for a reason, that there's a reason your timing has played out the way that it has. I'm getting that in some cases, for some people listening, there's a certain case where something has felt severely delayed, but it wasn't actually delayed on your end. Something, you've been ready for it, and that's maybe why you felt restless, why you felt unsure if it's ever going to happen, why you felt as though your timing is off. It's because you've been ready, but this thing, this person, this connection, this situation has actually been preparing itself for you because it wasn't ready to receive you. Wow, that feels like a powerful message for someone. So there's something that you may have been desiring, manifesting, dreaming, and you've been ready for it, but it hasn't been ready to receive someone of your caliber, your light, your frequency, your energy, but it will be. It is making itself ready. Or in some cases, for some of you, it might already be ready. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's take the example of the relationship. So I know that it's not going to be love and romance for everyone, but this is just a good kind of exemplary visualization of this concept, and then you can take it and apply it however you want to. But in a relationship context, let's say you do have that ideal that we were referencing earlier, but it feels as though even though you've healed, you've grown, you've expanded, you know what you want, you've become the person, the perfect partner in a sense. Let's say the universe already has lined up for you this person futuristically who meets every single one of those desires, who checks every single one of those boxes. But let's say that that person is right in the middle of going through something really heavy in their life that's really lowering their frequency and vibration. That's something that they have to sort out right now. And if the two of you were to meet, it wouldn't work out because that person isn't actually on the correct frequency level to be able to connect with you consistently, and it would fizzle out prematurely. But after they do that inner work and they go through those hardships and they heal themselves, they open themselves up to actually being able to raise their own frequency and connect with you from that higher place. And during that kind of interim, while that person is working on themselves, yes, you might feel as though something is off with the timing or that you're too late for something. But in actuality, that other person, that perfect person in the making, is being conformed to your ideal person. But if you were to settle either for someone else or you were to even meet that exact person right now, you would sabotage that ideal future. But it's not that you aren't the one that's ready. And during those interim times, often, although it can feel a little strange, the universe will redirect us towards other projects, endeavors, things, areas of our lives that feel deeply fulfilling and meaningful for us. But it's not that the universe has forgotten about that other ideal thing. For example, during that time where your perfect partner is being essentially, they're going through the things they need to go through in life to embody that true version of themselves that is your ideal person. During that time, you might actually be redirected to positively grow in the areas of your work, your business, your finances, your personal self, whatever it is. These redirections often happen to kind of give us a chance to strengthen and grow in other areas of our lives as we remain ready to receive the manifestation in a different area of our lives. So I hope this is making sense. I know we're starting to talk really at a quantum level here. Okay, so let's see what else we can channel through here. What else can I channel for all of the beautiful people listening? Okay, so here we have the crown chakra in the upright position, and I instantly heard the words spiritual activator. So I'm getting the sense that you are a spiritual activator for others at this time, whether you are doing this consciously or unconsciously. How are you spiritually activating others? Wow, we have the appreciation card. And I heard that one major way you are activating others spiritually is by admiring their soul, by seeing and appreciating and admiring who they are on a soul level. It's like people can tell, for some reason I'm picking up on someone who's, it might be someone that you've met recently. This could even be a stranger that you've come across, but someone's felt really positively impacted by your energy because they feel as though you've seen their soul, and it's like you acknowledge and appreciate their spirit and their soul in a way that no one else has. And this particular person has gone through a really difficult time in their life, or they've gone through certain circumstances. They might even be carrying some kind of deep guilt or regret about certain past phases of their life. But this is someone who really feels as though you admire and appreciate them on a soul level. It's like you see through to their soul. Now, of course, this could be romantic, platonic. Like I said, this might even be a stranger or someone that you've barely interacted with that just feels very influenced by you in a positive way, which is really influencing them to connect more deeply with that soul that they can sense you are seeing within them. Yeah, it's like you are opening up possibilities in this person's mind. Now, if this isn't connecting with one singular specific person that you have in mind, this actually might be a message about how your energy generally and recently has been affecting other people, how you've been generally spiritually activating others simply by seeing through to their soul and by opening their mind to possibilities that they hadn't really considered before. Now, with the Storm Warning card and the Caring Connections card, I feel we're actually picking up on a pretty specific thread of energy here. So this part of the reading will definitely not be for everyone, but this message really wants to come through. There seems to be someone who's actually feeling a kind of turbulence internally over how much they care for you and how affectionate and warm and soft they feel towards you, how vulnerable you make them want to be. Now, again, this could be a platonic or a romantic situation, but this is someone it's like you've stirred something inside them and they're feeling internally conflicted because of how warm and affectionate and vulnerable they've been feeling with you. When they're around you, they feel as though all of their anxieties seem to just melt away with the anxiety card reversed. You might even notice this person's facial expression. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what I'm channeling through here, but there's something in their eyes or their expression that is so unnaturally open towards you, meaning they aren't normally this way with people, but you can see this softness that you bring out with them. It's like your heart chakras are literally energetically connecting when you make eye contact or when you speak or connect with this person in person. But then I'm picking up sometimes when the two of you are apart or at a distance, this person might suddenly seem very difficult to read. And that can be because they're aware of how open and affectionate they find themselves being, and they're feeling a bit internally chaotic because of how open you naturally make them feel. And that's coming through here really strongly. Okay, so what else can I channel here? So this is someone who perceives you as extremely intelligent, with the thinking woman upright. I'm hearing someone that they can rely on, someone that they can trust. But for some of you, this might be someone that you don't know super well in the physical. This may be someone very new. And so it may actually surprise them how much they feel as though they understand you and can trust you. Now, I will say that whoever this person is, they seem to be sitting on a piece of intuitive or spiritual information that they've locked into about you and about this connection. It's like they know something, but they're kind of sitting on it, or they're stagnant about it. Now, for many of you who are relating to this message, which of course it's very specific to a certain group of people, but if it's relating, many of you may be connecting with this romantically. And this may be a person who is, I just keep seeing the word soulmate. Now, of course, this could mean twin flame as well. A twin flame is another soul that shares an identical core soul frequency to our own. And a soulmate is one that shares a very similar frequency to our own. They're just different forms of connection, but both very, very intense and spiritually deep. So for whatever reason, I keep seeing the word soulmate. Maybe that's how this person would describe it, like, you are my soulmate. But it's almost like I'm hearing, I think you are my soulmate, but they know on a deeper level. But then it's like this fear of fully acknowledging it to themselves or acknowledging it out loud. But there's something very different to them about this connection, and they've psychically or intuitively received that information. Now, I don't know how this came through for some of them. This psychic information they've received about you or the connection may have actually come through dreaming about you. This person might be dreaming about you very frequently. This also could be coming from sensations that they're feeling, especially in their heart chakra when they're around you. It's like they feel this warmth and this openness and this connectedness in their heart chakra with you in a way that they seem to have never felt with anyone else. So what else is this person psychically receiving? Whoa, okay, that they need to push open a door in love here with you, with door to romance in the upright position. If this is a romantic connection for you, they're actually being really pushed by their own guidance, by their own guides and their intuition to make a move here romantically, to step forward, to put themselves out there. But it's almost like they've been sitting in that knowing that they need to make a move or they need to do something about this. And what I want to say as well is I keep getting the word pressure. Like if they don't make a move, there's going to be a kind of pressure that comes in and really pushes them over the edge into being very clear with you about what they want or about their intentions or making some kind of clear romantic movement forward here. Now, in some cases, this pressure might come internally from their own life in some way, but I'm getting in many cases, it may be something external that they pick up on or see or that happens that actually really pushes them to make a move here towards you, which they've already been very intuitively guided to do. I just get that this is someone who just, it's like they almost fear the level of openness and vulnerability and quite literally love, although in many cases it might feel too early to be saying that, especially if this is someone recent. But in truth, they really are feeling love here, and it's very different than anything that they felt before. But there is that fear that seems to get triggered at times and put up these walls of guardedness. Again, especially when the two of you are physically apart, because I'm getting that when you are physically together, it's like undeniable how they're feeling about you, but it's also very irresistible. Like they can't really help themselves from smiling when you're around and looking at you and wanting to be closer to you and wanting to open up to you. And that in itself is pretty scary for them also, this knowing that they really aren't able to resist or to shut down these feelings of magnetism towards you. So, wow, very specific messages to be coming out at the end of the reading, but I really hope something from today's reading connected with you in a personal way. If this has been resonating, I will be continuing this reading onto Patreon. So in our beautiful soul tribe on Patreon, we do channel extended versions of these readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the main YouTube readings posted at those times. So if you'd like to gain access to my entire library of extended reading videos, I will be leaving the link to today's extended reading in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am going to be closing this reading with one final Rumi Oracle card. Sorry, I just bumped the desk there a little bit, but what is one final Rumi message to close off this reading? Okay, wow. So especially for some of you connecting with those romantic specific closing messages, there may be a very, very powerful, well, what the card is calling a sacred convergence happening between your souls here with this person. So I'm going to be reading a message from the guidebook here. Okay, and let me get to the page here. The guidebook says, sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There is an aspect of joining together for a common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day-to-day consciousness. That common soul purpose may be to lift each other into greater belief and love, to shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its personal passionate purpose. You'll have a sense when this process is happening. There will be a coming together of you with like-minded souls who hail from all walks of life, and yet together, through some invisible genius, you will help each other. The trickle-down effect into your personal life will be felt too. You'll have more energy after spending time with these people, even if you don't interact very much on a personal level beyond being in the same space. You'll feel empowered to step forward on your path and love yourself with less conditions. You'll become freer to shed your fears, let go of relationships based in fear and judgment, and open up to those more loving, responsive, and inspiring to continue on your personal journey in increasingly profound ways. Wow. So there is one more line here I really want to read, and it is, you cannot stay in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in a vibration of love. So that feels like a beautiful place to close today's reading. And again, if you do want to keep going with these messages and receive more detailed information from the reading, then I will leave a link to the extended version of the reading underneath the video. I would love for you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.